Let's go. Smoke Down Boys back. And another edition, another week of awesomeness and violence.
Hey,
But let's get straight into it. I'll talk about last week real quick. Let me look this up here, what we did here. Uh, man, not too
or
bad. We were both technically in the positive.
2-2.
So, yeah, you went 2-2, but it was plus 0.05 units. So you're in the positive. The ones you hit here was the both parlays. The Amorum Blackshear and Jocelyn Edwards for plus 100.
Hey,
The greasy parlay. And then we got the Brown and Ian Cuck Gary parlay at plus 140. So
hey,
those were hitters.
Michelle Pereira is a hoe.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that's the big talking point after that event. Everyone's like dumbfounded on in the MMA community is I mean, it's fine if he lost, right? Like if he put an effort in and he lost, it is what it is, right? But bro, what the fuck? What the fuck happened? That fool barely threw anything at all. Like no strikes, no nothing, just not doing nothing. I can't even say what he did, bro. He just did nothing.
Yeah, I had to unfollow. I had to unfollow that fool, man. Like I say, I don't know if he might be just like shell shocked after getting his ass beat from Fluffy, or I don't know, maybe he got gas from dancing too much. But yeah, that guy's just always a head case. You don't know what you're gonna get with him. Now it's the only time like to bet on him is gonna be when he fights against like tomato cans now, because I can't mess with him after this.
Man, and he lost a tomato can in the past. So remember early in his career that Tristan Conley and that part, the big conspiracy, which I hate these type of conspiracies, but I kind of see it, bro. Like he might be throwing the fight. like, bro, that shit is obvious as fuck. Like, what the hell? But yeah, fuck that guy. Just when you thought he was like finally like getting his shit together, even though he got, he lost to Fluffy, but I think he still put up somewhat of a fight and an effort against Fluffy. It's just Fluffy's just superior to him, but this one he didn't even put up any fight. So fuck him. Because that's also the only one I got wrong here on the show was Michelle Pereira. I actually thought it was going to be like best bet material, especially at the price. And you know what else made me sketch? The odds was steamed on the underdog heavily, and he became like a minus 135 because he was a bigger favorite when he opened, which also correlates with him possibly throwing the fight. That's all I'm saying. Like that's exactly what happened with the James Krause situation. If you all don't remember, there was a crazy amount of money that steamed on one side, especially on the underdog, and like we didn't know why, what was the reason, and then we find out later. So it's valid. But yeah, moving forward for me, I had a good day here, a good week, 3-1 plus 3.4 units. I had Ian Cuck Gary at minus 125, and man, hey, that was a good fight. Gary dominated for the beginning, but like the last round, especially, Prates, man.
I got sweaty at the last round. The way he rocked
me
him
too.
on the ground and pound or something like that. But he made him stand up, which he should have just kept ground and pounding. I think he would have won the fight.
Yeah, I was afraid because I was like, shit, he's about to knock out Ian
Yeah,
Gary.
because then he kept turning his back, giving his back. It was like, bro, if I was a Practice fan, I'd be hot. Like, I mean, if I had money on Practice, I'd be super hot because I feel like he could have ended the fight right there. But he made him stand up. People are saying he looked gassed too. I mean, I don't care how in shape you are, you smoking almost a pack of cigs a day, you for sure are not gonna have gas all the way. Like,
Yeah. No, I feel you there. And that was kind of crazy but the one thing that you could say Ian Gary is good at, like part of his IQ, right, was like, even though he might have been dazed and not even know where he was at one point, he had the ability to at least try to just grab onto a leg and just be desperate and try to survive, because that's all he needed to do to win was survive. So that's kind of part of his thing is his IQ, as he claimed. But hey, man, it was a good fight, and I think Prates is gonna definitely do better next fight, whoever he fights. So be wary of Prates, man. That fool really was throwing bombs.
no, he's a beast for sure. He can't be underlooked. This is his first fight in the UFC against like a top, top 5 contender, top 3 contender in the weight class.
In the title, he's the backup for the title fight.
Which is crazy after that fight, 5 rounds. Like, his fool was like lost some brain cells for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But he's not going to say no. So, but that's going to be good, man. I like where that's going. And Prates is going to be in the title picture soon. And then I also went on Gary by points plus 235. Finally, some big plus money there. Was a close call as well. But we knew Ian Gary was not about to knock out Carlos Prates. Like, we just knew that wasn't going to happen. I feel like, it was either going to be submission or decision, most likely decision. So, and then I had a greasy parlay as well. I had the Edwards, Amorum, Blackshear, and Aliskerov at plus 140. So yeah, hit that. Was happy with the results. Just wish Pereira wasn't such a bitch. So, but we move on. We move on from what Kansas City to Des Moines, Iowa. Shout outs to all my Iowans. Shout outs to KZ Raider. He's a big Iowa guy. But yeah, man, this is actually a somewhat decent card, for a fight night. And we start from the bottom here, but the headliner is Figgy versus Sandhagen. But we start from the bottom here. We got horny fights to begin with. If y'all haven't pulled it up yet, pull up your Tapologies, pull up your whatever you want to look at. But we're going for the bottom of the card here. Juliana Miller versus Ivana Petrovic, man. And this is a pretty much scrub ass fight. And I love low level women's fight, but damn, this is a sus ass one. And the odds are actually surprisingly decently wide. Where is it at here? Oh, I'm looking at the wrong shit. Looks like she is Ivana Petrovic a minus 225. Juliana Miller's a plus 190 now on Bet Online, man. Kind of crazy. Any thoughts here on this low level fights?
No yeet.
No yeet. Yeah, I mean, I have some thoughts here as always with these low level fights. Man, this is gonna be hold your nose, but there's no way Ivana should be this big of a favorite. That's all I'm saying. She is probably the better fighter, better striker for sure. No doubt there. She's never been finished. Pretty well rounded, but she's not good, right? Like she most recently lost a split to Jamie Lynn Horth, which I had money on Horth. So, and Horth was, the favorite, so she should have won. And she lost to Luana Carolina. She only beat Na Liang, which everyone beats Na Liang. So, whatever. But my thing with this angle is that I think Juliana is the value here, man. I already fired her. I think I fired her at plus 210. I think at plus 190 is still okay. But nice. I just think that it's going to be risky. But she took a long break here. So last time she fought was in 2023. And usually that is a bad thing. She's lost to Veronica Hardy and Luana Santos. But I think when you're younger and, newer in your career, well, she's not super young, 30, but newer in your career, younger in your career, a break sometime is good, especially if you're not doing so hot. Sometimes you need that to kind of get better. And I think this is going to be my shot on her as a dog to see if she actually improves. I think the value's there. I think Ivana Petrovic is not good either. So for her to be minus 225 is disgusting. But, so I guess I'm going Juliana Miller here. I just think there's too much value on there. But hold your nose.
I'll do. I don't even I ain't got to look at these chicks. I don't even know what they look like.
If it's who looks better contest, I'm probably going with Ivana most likely.
Ivana hump a lot.
Yeah, she's on that. She's more like the exotic whites. You know what I mean? Between the two. But yeah, man. Next up, won't spend too much time on that. Next up, we have Dontel Mays against Thomas Peterson in the heavyweights. Another stinky ass fight, but at least they're heavyweights. But you got here Thomas Peterson, huge favorite here, minus 250 against Dontel Mays. A lot of people say, rightfully so, because Dontel Mays sucks. He's a huge dude, 11-8 right now, 33 years old. But man, I mean, he's lost a whole bunch of fights. He lost to Walter Walker, Shamil Gaziev, Nascimento, Sakai. He's only beaten Machado, Arlovsky, and old Arlovsky, and Parisian and goddamn Roque Martinez in 2020.
He always starts off good and then just kind of fades out or just can't keep up with the other person's trying to do. Usually some grappling or something. But yeah, he's always this match I would even bet on because Dontel, he's sneaky with it, but he always is taking L's you just read off. But I feel at heavyweight, especially the guy he's fighting isn't even that good, right? Thomas Peterson.
Yeah, Thomas Peterson. He's younger, so he's 30, and he's younger in his career, but He just lost to Gaziev, got finished in there. He beat Muhammad Usman by decision, and then lost to Jamal
Yeah,
Pogues.
see, and that was a nasty fight too. And then he lost to Pogues. I mean, we could be going off the demo method on this fight. I don't know, but yeah, it's a sketch fight. It's another one. Hold your nose.
Yeah, I'm going to continue just like the last fight we were talking about. This is similar, just a big heavyweight men's version of it. This is stinky. They both are not great. Peterson is better, so he should be the favorite. However, minus 250 is also disgusting for this type of fight. And I think Dontel May's got nothing to lose. He got better go out there and either finish or be finished, you know? So I think that, you know, hopefully y'all can hear me. I think my internet disconnected for a minute.
Yeah, it froze for hella long. You just got back right now.
Okay. What was the last thing you heard? Dontel Mays? Did you guys hear that I said Dontel Mays?
Yeah, that's it. And then
I like Dontel Mays value-wise. That's it. Like, I just think there's value there. He's going all or nothing, but he's not the better fighter. But I'm going Dontel Mays here.
I like that pick also for this fight. That's what I was when I first took a look at it. I was like, oh, I mean, there's value in Dontel, like because like I said, the other guy, he said he beat Usman, but that's not. It was a close fight too. It's not even like that's nothing to be like brag about. So yeah I think
I'm not high on Usman either. You know, like
not at all.
Not terrible, but he's not great either. So
every fight with him is always sketch.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And by the way, here we go. Dontel Mays by KO is plus 400. That's not bad. Just saying. Put a little sprinkle if you're going to go on Dontel Mays, because I really think that's the only way he could win. He's not winning by decision. That's for damn sure. Next up, man, we got, okay, here we go, man. Gaston Bolanos. Shout outs to Gaston. I met him at Dave and Buster's. And then against my cousin here, Quang Lei. Man, this is an interesting fight, man. Bolanos is a favorite. He's now minus 140 and Quang's plus 120. But Bolanos was a bigger favorite, man. So money's been coming in on this underdog. And, you know, I think a lot of people actually like this Quang Le guy from Vietnam. He is 33 years old already. He's on a 2-fight losing streak. He lost to Xiao Long Bao. No, just kidding. Long Xiao. And he also lost to Chris Gutierrez in his first 2 fights. So it's a road to UFC guy, I believe. No racial. Actually, that was racial. He's actually from the LFA. He's definitely not road to UFC. But he looks like a road to UFC guy, and you know how we feel about that. So to me, I don't know, man. I like Bolanos, man. I think I'm a little higher on Bolanos than most people, you know, even before I met him. But I'm seeing some improvements in his game, man. Is it really Cortez Romas is that garbage? Or can Bolanos, you know, stay competitive striking and then, you know, or he is good at striking and then just like survive, you know, ground wise, you know, as long as he could keep it standing, I feel like he's going to be able to outstrike his opponent. But yeah, I like Gaston Bolanos, man. I think it's a cheaper price now. I'm going Bolanos. Sorry to the cousin here, but Bolanos it is.
No, yeah, I'm on Gaston also. He looked real good in his last fight. I think it was underdog too, or I may be tripping, but yeah, for sure, got to go with Gaston.
Yeah, Gaston Bolanos was a plus 180 against Cortavius Romeus, and he won. I think we both cashed on that. Like we were both on Gaston as an underdog because we're just like value wise. And then I ended up seeing him the week after, I think, for the John Jones fight at Dave and Buster's, and then I gave him a thank you because I was like, "Hey, man, I appreciate you cashing for me as a dog. You the man." So. But yeah, I think what scares me is like that line movement is kind of crazy, bro. Like people know something, like, you know, like a lot of money's going on this dog. And I think at this point, like the value has to be out from the dog already. Because if I'm only going to get a plus 120 with the Quang, I feel like no way. It's cheap for Bolanos now. No racial, bro. But yeah. Next up, man, we got a second horny fight of the card. We got Marina Rodriguez against Jillian Robertson. Robertson, big favorite on this card here. Where is she at? Robertson's now a minus 310. Marina Rodriguez plus 260. This is kind of crazy. Under overs, what, 2.5 and minus 185? Yeah, I mean, I like Jillian Roberts here. I know her record is not sexy, but the last few fights she's had, she's shown improvement in every fight. And that's one thing that I like. It's like we all know she's a great grappler, submission artist. But I feel like her striking is improved. It's not amazing. It's not going to be better than Marina Rodriguez by any means, but it's getting up there. Marina Rodriguez, I used to be high on her, but she's been disappointing, man. Look at the last 5 fights. She's 1-4. Granted, the last 2 were split decisions, so she survived. But man, I think if it gets to the ground, man, it's going to be, she's not getting back up. I think she's getting subbed. So, yeah, I mean, I hate the minus 300. That looks disgusting. But I like Jillian Robertson, man. I already fired on her, to be honest with you, when she was like minus, I think like 260 or something. But that's where I'm at. You could use a greasy parlay piece. I just don't see her losing. As much as I try to make a case for Rodriguez, because I've always been a fan, but she's 38, man. It's not for me.
But it's women's fighting. Because Jillian Robertson is low key old too, right?
She's old. She's not super young, but she's 33. Yeah, they're 29, bro. She's 29.
She just looked kind of old. But yeah, with this fight, man, you said like Marina's been coming off like split decisions. O's like game, but this is all about striker versus grappler. Like if Jillian can't stick to her and bring her down to the ground, she's gonna get pieced up standing.
Yeah.
So that's like her Jillian
but
Robertson
she can't defend takedowns. That's my thing with Marina Rodriguez. She's gotten taken down in every single fight. The last,
but that's the whole thing. If she could like keep it up, yeah.
But she hasn't been able to with anybody. That's my only thing. It's like if she's proven to me that she could get up, which I thought she could when I used to bet on her all the time, and obviously the last 5 fights hasn't been profitable. Like she couldn't get up against Lucindo. She couldn't get up against Andrade. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, she fought Verna. She's not getting up. Huh?
Yeah. Isn't Lucindo
so that's my only thing. Lucindo's good. I'm just saying none of those people are better, other than Verna, maybe. None of them are better grapplers than Jillian Robertson. None of them. And Jillian's a submission artist. She's not just like wrestling. She's like literally BJJ.
Yeah, but her submission. Her takedown is like, she tries to stick onto you like a leech and just like drag you down. But yeah, it's all about if Marina can do a takedown, but if they stay standing, it's a wrap. But yeah, I would just big dog her. Yeah, I'll probably look for Robinson by submission or decision. Decision's like plus 150, I think.
Yeah, it has to be because I know submission has to be mine. Like,
nah, it's high. It's like plus 280 or something. I want to say, or am I high?
Let me see. Let me double check. Jillian by submissions plus 175. That's not bad.
Okay.
I mean, it's plus money, and for a minus 300, I think that the submission is the most likely outcome, in my opinion. I might have to fire that right now. Just the submission one for sure. Because the thing is,
who's tapped Marina?
Nobody. See, and you know what? You could say that's probably a positive, but like we talked about knockouts and stuff. Like there's people that never been knocked out, and then there comes to a point at a certain age, they're getting slept, So
yeah, but what I say with the women's is like different, no discrimination, but these chicks be fighting late. Isn't Misha Tate on this card?
Yep.
Or they took her off.
Tate is on this card. No, did they?
Oh no, I still see her on the betting thing. Yeah,
no, I think she's still on there as far as I'm aware.
Did they just add that like last minute or some shit?
Nah, she's been on it, which is kind of crazy, right?
What the fuck?
It's like, why is she fighting? That's my question.
But I mean, look who she's fighting. But yeah, so yeah, I'll probably be dog or bust. But yeah, next one,
man. Another weird fight here. We got Azamat Bakoev against Ryan Loder from The Ultimate Fighter, the winner of The Ultimate Fighter, most recent season. Loder 7-1, man. He's 33 years old. Never been finished. And
it's disrespect. It's disrespectful on this line.
Yeah, exactly. I know that the opponents that he's had are not great, but he is a solid wrestler, man, and he actually packs a punch. He's not a striker by trade, but he has some power. And Bokaev is 19-3, sexy, record. Never been knocked out before, but he has been subbed, and he's just been finishing fools quickly, like Zach Reese. Is his debut fight, and he finished him hella quick.
I mean, Zach Reese
Um,
is whack. So.
yeah,
Zach
Zach Reese is
Reese.
okay. I like Zach Reese, but that was, I think, Zach Reese's first loss, right? No, second loss. That was his second loss. Yeah, second loss ever. But yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, he did lose to Cody Brundage.
It's just mid.
But yeah,
It's
no,
mid. But I smoke mids
I'm
every
with you
now
on
and
this
then.
one. As far as the odds, you know,
Yeah, it's
Bokaev as
pretty.
minus 380 is crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty disrespectful. They both got the same amount of fights in the UFC. Loader, you can even say, has more fights if you count. They don't count it, but the Ultimate Fighter. You know what I'm saying? That was like those are fights. So like, I don't know. I think I'm going with the dog here, and plus I'm doing a homebody because he fights out of Sacramento. Shout out to
Exactly.
Max Griffin. Shout out to the gang.
Hey, shout outs
So
to Sacramento.
yeah, shout out to the Sacktown fighters.
But yeah, I mean, for my pick originally, when I looked at the card, I mean, I think Bokaev should be the favorite, obviously. But earlier, I think he opened at like minus 200 or something, 220, like something a little more reasonable, even though it's a big favorite. But like now you're getting close to minus 400, you know what I mean? And at that point, I think it's too disrespectful. So I'm with you on the value of Loader plus
What about
350.
Bokaev by knockout? What is it? Because I feel like they're just ranking that much. That has to be like, yeah. Because I don't see him winning all three.
Dude,
If it goes all three, I think Loader would take it.
Bokaev by knockout is plus 200.
Yeah.
That might be value there because, I mean, he has to finish it early. Loader by points plus 575.
And submission?
And submission plus 1200.
Damn. I would probably, if you get, shout out the Gagos, the hype killer. If he was
The
here,
hype killer.
he probably bet Loader by submission.
The hype killer coming through. He said, I'm only giving out plus 1000s or more.
You feel me?
Yeah. Like big ones. But yeah, I'm with you. That's a little disrespectful, man. Bokaev, we got to see more of it to believe it. They are at 185 too. So next up, man, we got another horny fight, man. We got Yana Santos against Miesha Tate. Some nostalgia.
Vintage V fight right here.
Vintage. We all know Yana Santos being the wife of Thiago Santos. She is 35.
Did she just get a win?
Yeah, she just beat Chelsea Chandler by decision.
Man, see, that's a sign. I wish I would have bet Edwards by knockout, dude. That probably was fat.
Yeah, man. Fuck. That was a good one, man.
That was the best.
She wasn't
the
bad,
best
but
she ever
she's
looked.
good.
Nah, that was the best she ever looked. You know what I mean? Went in there, dialed in, and made quick work of that chick.
Yeah, easy work. Yeah, in the last fight that Miesha Tate won, she did win by submission against Julia Avila. So obviously the people they're fighting isn't great. And the last time Miesha Tate fought was in 2023 of December. So it has been a while, whereas Yana Santos just fought the end of last summer in August.
Yeah.
So that part is a little sketch. Go ahead.
Yeah, but then Yana's her kryptonite is grappling, and that's all Miesha's gonna do. If Miesha doesn't like gas out and gas out and just fuck up from being an OG and then also just inactivity, I feel like Miesha could take a decision for sure. What's Yana about like TKO? Because I feel like if Miesha gasses out, then Yana could like finish her. If you want to go that route.
Yana by KO is plus 1200. Okay, hype killer.
No, yeah, because like think about it, bro. If Miesha just like gasses out, especially like her last few fights, I think her last fight was the last fight where she got split open and just blood everywhere. You know what I mean? Like if she can't get you down no more, she's kind of like cooked now.
Yeah, I mean her striking is not excellent at all, and I mean the other side of it is I don't think Yana Santos is that good either, but she is younger. She's 35.
But she's a scrapper younger, too, though. But that's one thing about Yana. At least she doesn't have the skills, but she's out there at least like in a fight.
Yeah, and she likes to pin people against the cage a lot, like just hold them against the cage.
Well, so does Miesha. So does Miesha. You know what I mean? So it's like
Miesha will get you on the cage, yeah, and then try to grapple. But I'm going Miesha Tate here. I hate that she's the favorite. I thought it was gonna be pick'ems, but
yeah. What's Miesha by submission?
Miesha by submission. That's probably the most likely outcome.
Plus 450.
Yeah. Oh, no. So the likely outcome was the points. Yeah, submission plus 450 definitely looks like it has some value there.
Hey, that's her shit. Rear naked chokes, you know what I mean? So, damn, might sprinkle something on that.
I like that. And Yana's been submitted before, When's the last time, though?
That's the thing. If Miesha can control the fight and just make it ugly and keep dragging her down and then get her back or something, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, I actually already fired on this. Misha Tate. I like that side. I'm always with the sketchy women's fight. Next up, man, we got Jeremy Stevens against Mason Jones. It's like, who the fuck is making these calls for these fights?
And like, why is this shit so like big? Like, why is Mason Jones minus 550 against Jeremy Stevens? Like, what the heck?
Because Jeremy Stevens is knockout or nothing, and he's also 30, almost 39. He's like 1 month away from being 39.
But he's been
So
looking good though his last few fights in the BKFC. You know what I mean? So like, what's
yeah, but
Mason
that's too
Jones'
good. That's
style?
Mason Jones is gonna grapple this fool, so
Well, I mean,
that's gonna
Stevens does have wrestling. He's from Iowa. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
He's the
But
hometown favorite
he
in
just
that
fell in love
sense.
with the knockout, like coming up. That's just his thing because he's like he one punch Stevenson, right? That's his nickname. He really can put you out sometimes. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Stevens at all. He's knockout or nothing. I think he has no technical real skills other than boxing. He does, right? But when it comes to MMA, I think his days are over with. I think this is another paycheck trying to see. But like you said, he's live for a knockout. That's for sure. He's always live for a knockout. So you can't count that part out. So I can understand anyone taking a swing on that because,
Yeah,
Mason Jones, he just took time off. This is his second stint in the UFC and now he's a minus 550, which is pretty fucking huge. So I get that sentiment. But yeah, no hot take for me. I think Mason Jones dominates this fight all the way, man. Like Mason Jones is a no name because the people from this country here, Wales, doesn't get as much love and it's not as entertaining. But they're gonna get the job done. He beat David Onama, by the way.
yeah. But that was also in 2021, and then
Yeah, that was a long time
he's
ago.
only fought one time since then. Last fight was
2021
2022,
in
right? Or
UFC, and then
oh,
he went
okay,
to
yeah,
Cage
yeah.
Warriors.
He was the champ over there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was.
Okay.
But that he went back down, and then because he was with
Nah,
Cade
yeah,
Warrior before. But sometimes that's good for younger fighters. Certain fighters need that. So I think that
yeah.
now that
That's
he's
what
30, he's getting in his
that's what
prime.
that's what the Morocco kid did. What's his name?
Um, I know who you're talking about.
Zalal.
Zalal Yosef Zalal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So that's why I like this, and I understand the books probably know too. So that's why it's fucking minus 550. But yeah, I'm with that. I might put him in a greasy play. I haven't done it yet. But because I am sketched because when it's like this wide of a line and the underdog could easily knock out the favorite, that's always sketch.
Yeah.
What is Stevens by knockout? Stevens by knockout is plus 700.
She. There you go.
There you go. Like to me, if you like the Steven, you have to sprinkle a little something on the knockout. There's no because I don't see in a world where he wins by another way. Like where does that come from? It's knockout or nothing.
Yeah.
So
Straight up.
so you got to put it at plus 700. I might even fucking just sprinkle on that just plus 700 at knockout.
It could be some fairy tale shit for him, but nah. I mean, he's long in the tooth, like you said. He's old as fuck now for fighting. Yeah, it's just his time is coming. He used to be the youngster back in the day because that's how long I've been following. But because he fought in the UFC when he was like 21 or some shit, his first fight.
Yeah, and he's the man. Like he's
He's
always entertaining.
39 now. He's been fighting forever. But yeah, it's all about sprawl and brawl. If he could defend the takedown, I feel like he's live. But
He's live, and he's gonna pay off his even if he loses. But like if he gets sprawl and brawl and doesn't get taken down, bro, like he's worth the price tag that plus 420. You're in a good position. If it's a live fight. But yeah, next up, man, we got Cameron Smotherman against Serhi Seedy. Man, we got a Seedy here. He's a favorite at minus 136. Smotherman now plus 115 or so. This is an interesting fight at 135, man. Seedy, if you guys don't remember him, he has never been finished. He just beat Garrett Armfield by split on a robbery, in my opinion. Pure robbery, because I had Garrett Armfield and Armfield, in my opinion, dominated the fight but lost. And then before that, he lost a split to Ramon Tavares. And then this guy's off Contender Series.
yeah,
So
both of them
just
are.
so you know. Yeah, and Cameron Smotherman, he's a young-looking guy. He's 27 years old, up-and-comer here. I think he's pretty well-rounded. He most recently beat Jake Hadley, made him go to the PFL. And this guy's from Fury FC, man. And he was also Contender Series, like you said, where he lost, which is a red flag for a little bit. But I think when you're young, you could bounce back. You could get better, improve. And I like Cameron Smotherman at plus money here, man. I like this. I think I'm leaning that way. I haven't fired yet, but I like him at plus money.
Yeah, I'm a rock with Smotherman also.
Yeah. Also, I think his skin complexion gives him an advantage. Yeah, that's the real life shit, by the way. I know we don't talk about it. People say it's sketch, Dave. Why would you say that? But it's like, bro, no, it's not sketch, bro. I'm not even saying the race. I'm just saying if you have darker skin and don't bruise as easily as someone with fair and pale skin, right? It does help. That's all I'm saying. It helps when the judges look at it. Right? I was just saying it's harder to see blood, okay, and bruises. Next up, man, we got Montel Jackson and Daniel Marcos. This is actually low-key might be a good ass fight.
Yeah.
Montel Jackson 14-2. He's the favorite here. What is he? Minus 200 or so. Damn, already. Yeah, I think he's minus 200. I can't even see this shit.
Who's the favorite? Marcos, right?
Nah, Montel Jackson minus 200. Marcos plus 170. Which I was actually surprised because I like Jackson's side, but I thought it was going to be much closer odds. Because Marcos undefeated, 17-0. He's been on a tear, knocking fools out or winning by decision. Just beat Adrian Yanez by split. And before that, John Castaneda, that's not such a great win, but he's beaten Davey Grant. That's a good win. So I think that, it got some legs to it, but I like Montel Jackson, man. I think he's just way more skilled and talented. Maybe not as durable, even though he's never been finished. But I think Marcos take more punches. But yeah, minus 200 is a little hefty, though, in my opinion. But I like Montel Jackson here.
Yeah, he's been in the UFC for a minute now, Montel Jackson. So it's a big test for Marcos. But I think I'm gonna rock with Peru, man. I'm gonna go with Daniel Marcos, who's been looking like in all his fights, he's been looking like a beast. So I feel like this might bring the best out of him against
never lost.
Yeah, he could. I think like you said, what's the name? It should be the favorite, but it's gonna be a good fight for Marcos. Though, like you said, 17-0. It's a big test. It's gonna see where he's at now, because he is the younger fighter still, a little bit, like 3 years. But yeah, man, it's a big test for. Yep, this if he wins this, he's gonna start fighting ranked people.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's when you fade him when he starts getting up to that level. But no, the only reason I haven't fired on Montel Jackson, even though I like that side, is I do think the line is not so great. It seems a little wide. Like I probably have Montel Jackson minus 150 or something.
Yeah, I feel like it should have been like Aramis at least minus 110 or Pick'ems or something.
Yeah, something a little closer. That's why I thought it was going to be Pick'ems or around that thing, and I was ready to bet Montel Jackson. Then when I looked at the odds, I was like, yeah, no, this is a little bit. I need to hold my horses to see what's going on here. But next up, we got who do we got here? Okay, we got some old guys now. Santiago Ponzinibbio against D-Rod, Daniel Rodriguez. Yeah. This is damn near. It was almost a pick'ems at one point, but it looks like Ponzinibbio's minus 125, D-Rod's plus 105 right now.
Rightfully so for Ponzinibbio. Daniel Rodriguez is like. What's his I know he's on a big losing streak, right?
Yeah, D-Rod, he's 18-5, but his last he just beat Alex Morono by split decision. But then before that, he lost 3 in a row.
Okay, that's good.
Gary and Magny.
That's a good win though. At least he's coming off of a win, which I thought I thought they were gonna give that to Morono. That was a close fight. But yeah, like I said, Dan Rodriguez, he's just out there, he's just about strictly putazos way, you know what I'm saying? Like he just goes out there to brawl. Ponzinibbio for sure is the better fighter, but then I want to say he's older, right? But then it's all about if his chin can hold up. If his chin can hold up against Rodriguez, Ponzinibbio will win. What's Rodriguez by the knockout prop?
Rodriguez by knockout? Oh, I actually like that look. Rodriguez by knockout is plus 375.
Yeah, because I feel like that's the way he's got to win this fight. Because I feel like if it's off technique, it's gonna be Ponzinibbio. You know what I mean? Look at even I mean, Morono was beating Ponzinibbio until Ponzinibbio slept him in the third round or second round. You remember that fight? So, yeah, to me, it's going to be all about if Santiago's chin can still hold up. And then, like, same time, Rodriguez is an old cat, too. So it's not like he's fighting a young killer. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
but I
I'm
think
on
I'm
the
going
same
with,
wavelength there. Oh, they're
yeah.
both the same age, by the way.
Oh,
38,
yeah. Yeah, but then Ponzinibbio's like, remember
fighting forever.
he had that crazy ass disease that took him out for hella years.
Yeah,
So, like,
and
yeah.
the chin thing. Yeah, I'm right. I'm stuck right there. Like skill wise, like you said, technically Ponzinibbio was way better. All around MMA game.
Yep.
But D-Rod, he got the chin advantage, even though he's old. But he could take a beating, and he's gonna be a badass about it. Whereas Ponzinibbio, we've seen him do the stanky leg a few times. Even
Yeah.
if he didn't
In
get
a lot of his
finished,
fights. Yeah.
damn near feels like all his fights.
Yeah,
So
it's
that
always
part is
hold your
sketched.
breath. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I haven't bet on this one yet. But yeah, I mean, I lean Ponzinibbio, and the chin's just holding me back. But I like Ponzinibbio skill wise. I just like where we D-Rod's looked bad even in his win. You know what I mean? Like he's looked
Nah,
bad everywhere.
that was a sketch fight. I thought they should have gave it to Morono. I think I was betting on Morono too, so I was biased, but yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think like D-Rod's kind of one dimensional.
Well, yeah,
Like
the thing is
street fight.
he always brings it. That's what I said. He's all about putazos way, but he always brings it. That's why the UFC extended his contract even after coming off a crazy loss, like
Mhm.
losses, like 3 losses. So yeah,
Yeah, and actually the odds have flipped. By the way, D-Rod opened as the slight favorite, and now he's the underdog. So money's agreeing with what we're thinking and what we're saying here. So if you like Ponzinibbio, maybe you start firing, or maybe you wait. Maybe people's hanging on D-Rod, but if you fire D-Rod, I feel like you have to also sprinkle on the knockout prop for you, like you said,
yeah.
plus 375.
What's the knockout prop for Ponzinibbio? Because I feel like Ponzinibbio can knock him out too.
Ponzi by KO is plus 350.
That's good because that's. I mean, like I said, Ponzinibbio was getting cooked by Morono, and then he came and slept him like bad. So that power is there. And the thing is with
Yep.
Rodriguez, he's been lately getting kind of TKO'd out of here. Sometimes his chin ain't been holding up no more either. Like he can't throw
Here's
like
some
that.
value then on the same thought process you have is the under 2.5 is at plus 185, or the fight to not go the distance is plus 155. So that's also could be some value there if you really think they're gonna finish one. Somebody's gonna finish someone in some way. That's also something that's good as well. So
This is in front of
yeah,
a
man.
crowd too, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be in Des Moines in the
Oh
arena.
yeah,
So
Iowa. That's the return
yeah.
of. Yep.
All
Yeah.
right,
Yep.
we're ready here at the co-main event, man. We got RDR Rainier De Ritter against Bo Nickel. Man, this is I like this fight. I like this fight. It's interesting to me because I've been on the wrong end of trying to fade this RDR cat, right? And he's been pulling through. He is the underdog this time. Bo Nickel's already a minus 300, 310, 315. Now
Well,
we got RDR's plus 260.
at least it's not like
A
before
thousand.
minus 1,000 and all this bullshit. Because Bo Nickel, he's winning.
Yeah.
Can't you cannot deny that. But he hasn't been like
And he's been
it's like
nobody's mostly.
yeah. But he started fighting some solid guys recently, right? His last two, but they've been like stinkers
Paul
at the
Craig, right?
end. He's been getting like booed.
Yeah, because he has to survive against like Paul Craig and stuff like that. Old
Yeah,
Paul
see,
Craig. So,
that's one thing about this Jermaine the Ritter guy. He brings it. And like first fight, he was getting with a Mershart. He was, first fight in the UFC, getting his feet wet. And then the next fight, he just smoked Kevin Holland, you know what I mean? So
mhm.
it's gonna be really interesting with the grappling, or is Bo gonna keep it standing? Like, because like with the grappling, what's his name is live throughout his 3 rounds, right? Yeah, he tapped Mershart in the third round, right?
Yeah, and that's like the two different styles here. It's like you're talking about wrestling, Olympic wrestling, American wrestling versus jujitsu, pretty much like the submission wrestling and grappling.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be interesting. And then usually when we see two people that like to somewhat grapple, usually stay standing. And that's where things get interesting because Bo Nickel don't got hands like that. RDR, I mean, he's shown to at least
He's
have chin
developing
and
though.
throat. He's developing. It's not great. I think they're kind of on the same wavelength or similar levels on the
No, I
The
said, but like Bo
striker.
Nichols' hands are getting better. Like each fight, I want to
Oh,
say.
Bo Nickel, but not RDR. But I
Well,
mean, it's
RDR
not
is already
him.
like he's been fighting since he's like it's his
He's the
first.
one champion, right?
Yeah, exactly. See, it's his first run in the UFC right now, but he's been fighting in one since 2019, and before
And I
that,
believe he also was the champion for the 205 weight class too.
yeah, and he's like a super jujitsu guy, or like right,
Pure
isn't he?
jiu-jitsu. Yeah.
But isn't he like a judo guy also?
Oh, I don't know. I just know him as the guy that wants to go do BJJs.
No, I
Uh
mean this is an interesting fight for sure. Value in the Ritter for sure. He has way more experience than Bo, so that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, we're gonna see somebody like live because I feel like Paul Craig is like I don't know, he ain't live to me ever no more. He's like you always
yeah.
gotta fade that fool. And then last fight was against Cody Brundage before that, which was kind of like it was kind of a close fight till then later he got him out of there. We were at that fight UFC 300, so
Mm-hmm.
and then we were at the
Yeah.
last fight before that too against Val
You would
Woodbourne where he
you
slept
would
him.
even say this is probably Bo Nickel's best opponent so far, right?
Yeah, because this is the thing is like what's his name RDR. He's
RDR.
34, but he's low key still in his prime and like fighting prime. So this is gonna be interesting. I wouldn't be surprised if Zerita wins this fight.
That's the one thing about UFC. They're not going to try to sign people when they're washed. You know how PFL and Bellator has to
Yeah,
do that, right? Here, it's like, bro, if you never been here, we're not trying to sign you when you're washed, unless you're
yeah.
and unless you're Pitbull, I guess, or something like that, but or Michael Chandler, but that's the only case. This is different. But hey, man, I guess third time's a charm. I gotta go with my boy Bo
Believe.
Nickel. I took a shot on him. I fired on him at minus 275. I think that I think there might be still value. I have him more of like a minus 400 here, which, like you said, is different than the typical minus 1000s that or minus 800s. That are crazy. But I don't know. I just think that although RDRs continue to shove it to me, I got to do it one last time because I think this is going to be the hype train. And if Bo loses, now you got to really see where he's really going to be at. But I think it's still technically a cheap price, even though he's a huge favorite. I'm putting him in a greasy parlay too as well. So yeah, I'm with Bo Nickel. RDR. Let's see if he can do it for me the third time. Just disappoint and just say fuck you, Dave.
Let's go RDR.
The main event here. This is interesting as well. 135. We got Corey Sandhagen against Davison Figueiredo. Man, Sandhagen, man, entertaining guy. I'm a big fan. Never been knocked out. He most recently lost to Umar Nurmagomedov by decision, and
But that was a
pretty much
hard
got
fight
knocked.
though. That was a hard fight
Yeah,
though. Like
yeah. I
Umar
mean,
did win like the whole time, but it was still like he's still like Corey Sage is like a tough out and for anybody.
yeah, exactly. Figgy, man, he is getting older. He's 37 years old already, going on 38. And he most recently lost to Peter Yan, which is, not bad at all because he was a big underdog in that fight. But before that, he was beating fools like Marlon Vera, Cody Garbrandt, Rob Font, bro. Like,
Yeah, he
hey,
got on
that's
a
solid.
streak. He was on a streak for sure, but yeah, I think I'm going with Sandhagen.
Yeah, me too. And it's crazy that he's minus 480 right now against
God
Figueroa
damn.
and plus Figgy's plus 380. So that part is completely sketchy as fuck because I think Sandhagen opened around like a minus 350, minus 400, which is still a huge favorite. And now he's fucking almost minus 500. And I don't want to say rightfully so because Figgy's good. He's just not getting better. That's all. But yeah, I'm going Sandhagen, greasy parlay it, fuck it, pair it together with Bo Nickel too for me, and maybe another one. And then we'll call it. But yeah, any best bets, man? Well, let's get to best bets, man. This is a decent card, man.
Yeah, it's a cool little card, but yeah, I'm gonna go with right off the rip. I'm gonna go with Ryan Loader.
Loader,
We're gonna show love to the hometown.
Loader. He's plus money for sure. Where is he at?
Yep.
Oh, plus 315. Let's go.
Uh, damn. Gonna do Damn, do I want to do it? Yeah, we're gonna do a parlay with Misha Tate
Yeah.
and Jillian Robertson
Uh,
And then I'm gonna do a straight up. We're gonna do it the young and smother man.
Smotherman at plus money. All right. One more.
One more. I'll do a. Damn. Fuck it. I'm gonna just go on a limb. We're gonna go for RDR.
Oh, big ones, big ones. RDR is plus 2.6. RDR. Okay, plus 265. We'll give him that. All right, man. For me, let's go. Man, hopefully he doesn't do me wrong, bro. Gaston
Hey,
Bolanos.
I wanted to bet on. I'm gonna pit. I'm gonna for sure do some side bets with him.
Yeah, Bolanos. I also like I like Misha Tate here. -2, -140s there. And I'm gonna do a greasy parlay for y'all here. That's that. Let's do Sandhagen, grease it up, lube it up. We got Mason Jones, right? We got Jillian Robertson, and we got Bo Nickel. That's pretty greasy. And then last one, I guess I gotta get a little plus money or something. All right, y'all. I'm gonna do it with y'all. I guess we're gonna take a flyer here. Juliana Miller, hold your noses. Hold your noses. Opening fight of the night. Juliana, she's plus 190 right now. Still decent. See if she could get something done there. But yeah, hopefully we come back here, some more positivity, and continue our role here, man. But till then, smoke out.
Oh yeah, hey,
Oh,
we going
yeah.
on a break, man. Young Davy's gonna
Shit, I
be
forgot.
traveling the world, so shout outs to him. Get it lit. We're gonna be making our picks, main event picks. Check out group chat on Wax. You know what I'm saying? Dave will probably be texting us. You know what I'm saying? If he's not paying top dollar international.
Yeah, no, I'll have some reception out there. Hopefully, some internet, say Wi-Fi and stuff. But yeah, I didn't realize. I forgot. No show next week. I won't be on the group chat on Wax because I'll be out of the country for a couple weeks chilling. So we'll be taking a break, but I'll still be hopefully staying up and watching in the weird hours for some UFC. But I'll be watching for sure. But yeah, till then, y'all. Oh yeah, PFL. Check that out. Some honorable mentions of the looks I'm looking at right now. Since we're not going to have any future episodes, I want to give out some. I'm looking at Phil Davis at plus money right now. I know he's 40 years old, okay, and he should be the underdog, but I don't know. It's just something about Rob Wilkinson. Ever since he's done with the steroids, he's just not doing it for me, man. I think Phil Davis is Mr. Timeless kind of.
Yeah, Phil Davis.
40.
Yeah, he could take him down. Probably. I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
And then who else on here? You got Romanov making his PFL debut, right?
Yeah, -700 against Tim Johnson
Holy
right now.
shit.
Holy shit. Carl Williams, if you guys remember him from the UFC, he's an underdog against Oleg Popov right now. Who's the other one? Oh, Rodrigo Nascimento. He's also from the UFC. So if you guys remember, there's a few UFC guys. Antonio Carlos Jr. was in the UFC a long time ago. He's there as well.
Yeah, he's been in the PFL for he's an underdog probably, right?
Slight. He's like plus 105 right now.
Damn, who would you pick in that one?
Man, I first Carl Moore, but if I think the odds flipped and Carlos Jr. is now the underdog, so now I feel like the value is on the dog because I have this like a pick'ems fight. Because Carlos Jr., if he doesn't get you down, like I don't think he's not gonna beat.
He'd be looking hella stiff too, like when he's fighting. Like
yeah, exactly, and he's getting older too, so it's never great. Carl Abrexon, if you, I'm not saying to bet on him, but I just he's from the UFC as well at one point, I believe.
But yeah, man, peace out, smoke out.
Smoke out, ho out.